Good morning, gentle listeners of the South Coast Radio and beyond. I see we have a listener in East London that contacted me and one from Cape Town or the Western Cape, which is so exciting. Thank you so much, guys. I love the interaction and I love to know that these little chats are reaching you because they are especially for you. And today we are talking to Justin. Justin, welcome and thank you for your request. Justin asked me to chat a little bit about procrastination and self-doubt. Big things in our life, and I come across it so often with people that say, I procrastinate, I just can't seem to get going or to finish tasks that I have started. So there are those people that achieve their goals year in and year out. And then there are some people who just seem to spin their wheels in the same mud. What sets them apart? Well, it is this terrible thing called procrastination and his very good friend called excuses. So if you are always finding excuses not to do what needs to be done or not to get started, then you are a procrastinator and you know it. Those of you who tend to find reasons, valid and otherwise, for not doing what needs to be done, know you are procrastinating, but you also have the frustration of knowing that you could have, should have done something and that you have not achieved anything or very little. And you know that club, that very famous club called the I should have, I could have club, has many, many members, way more than the I did it, I achieved my goals, and I'm on my way to achieve more club. And that is, as I was saying to someone the other day, the world's wealth belonged to 3% or 5% of the population because those 3 or 5% were willing to do what 95 or 97% of people are not prepared to do. And then we wonder why they have got the success and they have got all the things that we admire and desire. But are we prepared to do what they do? And what do they do? Well, they certainly do not procrastinate. They certainly don't think that they will sit their way to success. And they certainly don't hang on to the TV remote and think this is a way to achieve anything in life or sit in front of the computer playing the games that are so popular nowadays. And I'm not saying there's not a space and a place for it. I'm just saying, look at where you spend your time. Look at how much time you spend in bettering and improving yourself and working towards achieving your goals. So if you're a procrastinator, you are well aware of it. You are aware that you are not doing what you ought to be doing. So what does that add to your life? Procrastinating, of course, adds frustration. It adds to lack of confidence, and it will become increasingly and progressively so as another week, another month, another year has gone by, and you are no further forward. And now the question is, has the procrastination, Justin, caused the self-doubt, or has your self-doubt caused you to procrastinate? Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there? And that is to go and do something, anything. But get up in the morning, get ready for the day, set an intention. Say, today I am going to do and complete a specific task, preferably a task that is goal-oriented. So let's say you want to further your studies, then you have to say, today I am setting aside so many hours to cover X amount of work, and at the end of the day to have a good understanding of the work I had covered. Because if you just sit there and mindlessly read through things while thinking about something else, you can say, well, I sat with my book for 3 hours today, and if anybody had to quiz you on it, you wouldn't have a cooking clue. So it has to be focused work that you put in, and that's where the other critical element comes in achieving anything in life, and that is self-discipline. Every successful athlete, every successful actor, every CEO, everybody who has achieved in their field will tell you there were many times that they didn't want to do a specific task or get up early in the morning to go and train, or stay up late to get knowledge, to have a meeting, to study. But they did, and now they reap the rewards of it. Because remember, people weren't born CEOs, people weren't born top athletes. They had to work for it. Even with the underlying talent, they still had to hone that talent. So you have to have the self-discipline to say, I am going to get up every morning, and for an hour and a half or whatever it is before I start my day, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to study, I'm going to work on something. Because doing nothing is not the answer. Justin, if you just throw up your hands and say, well, I haven't got the confidence and therefore I don't want to start it, that will just get you more of the same. More of no confidence, not starting and not moving forward with your life. We all, every person, I really think every single person, with a very few exceptions, have got dreams and ambitions and desires. And the only way to get to manifest, to bring those dreams and desires to fruition, is to work at them, to set the goals and to set healthy habits. We've chatted about habits, and if you get up every morning at 5 o'clock and spend an hour, let's say, studying or reading an inspirational article or working on something that you want to achieve, it will become a habit. I've told you, listeners, that I'm up in the morning running. I'm out of the gate, myself and my border collie, at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's winter and summer. But I've done it for so many years that we do it without thinking about it. I don't run every morning. I run 4 mornings a week. But on those mornings that I know I'm going to, I just get up and get on with it. I don't have to debate it unless it's really, really pouring with rain. And then I don't go, mostly because I don't want a wet dog coming back into the house. But running in the rain by myself is not a problem. So start setting healthy habits. If you do something every day for, let's say, at least 6 to 8 weeks, it will become a habit. And those habits will fuel your success. Remember the 7 habits of the most effective people in the world. So procrastination becomes a habit. Finding excuses becomes your go-to response in life to anything. Oh, I know I should mow the lawn, but it's a bit hot, it's a bit cold, it's a bit windy, I'm a bit tired, my foot is a bit sore, I've got a bit of a headache, the cat's not in, I don't want to fry. You will find an excuse, as I said. If you really want something, you will find a way, but if you don't, you will find an excuse. So find out, and it is a journey of discovery, as we chatted about the careers. Find out for yourself, unpack, discover, excavate. What do I want to achieve? And let's say this month or by the end of the year, where do I want to be next year this time? If next year this time I still find myself in exactly the same place as I am today, then clearly what I'm doing is not working. And you cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. And results come from effort and from action and from discipline. So how do I start? I just want to add here, failing is not the worst that can happen to you, not at all. We learn from our failures if we are prepared to do so. The worst that can happen to you is to one day say, I could have, I should have, but I did nothing. I achieved nothing. I have nothing to show for my life because I procrastinated and I found excuses way too easily. And therefore, my life has turned out exactly in proportion to the effort I put in. What you put in is what you will get out. And if you don't put any effort into it, you won't get anything out of life. And as I say, failing is not the worst thing at all, because we learn from our failures. As I think it was Edison who said, I found 999 ways it doesn't work, but persevered and invented the light bulb. So Justin and our other listeners, please don't let the fear of failure stop you from trying your utmost and be disciplined about your efforts. Everybody has self-doubt. Everybody has thought to themselves, I don't know if I can do this, but you know what? I'm going to give it my best shot. And if I fail, well, that's okay. But not even trying is way worse than failing. And as I said, belonging to the I could have, I should have, if only I did it club. You don't want to be a member of that club. I'd rather be a member of the club. Well, I tried my best. It didn't work, but I know I tried my best and I had fun doing it, or it was my best effort. And I learned from it, learned something about myself from that process. If you do nothing, you will become a sad case of failure to launch. Never launched your life. Never tried even to launch it. So how do we start beating procrastination? As I said, first, have some clear goals. They can be short-term goals, weekly, monthly, 3 monthly, 6 monthly goals. Plan your day and plan your week. Not too far ahead, but have a plan, because without a plan, you are hoping to succeed by accident. And if you succeed by accident, it could be difficult to replicate because you had no plan. It kind of just happened, and you want to be able to succeed by design so you can repeat it and replicate it. Next is get organized. You cannot function effectively in chaos and confusion. So whether it's your workspace, your desk, your office, your workshop, organize it. Organize your diary, organize your time. Organize so that if you need to concentrate, let's say for me, as I've said, I'm a morning person, and early in the morning, the phone doesn't ring, the world is quiet, the house is quiet, I haven't got constant interruptions. So get organized. The next is prioritize. Decide which tasks are the most important and need to be done first so that you can build on that. So prioritizing is important. Do first things first. Okay? Do one task at a time. Do not don't butterfly. I think I have shared this with you before, that, butterflies sit on this flower and then that one and then someone else, and then they come back to this one and then they're back on another one. And if you do that, if you try to multitask, you may find at the end of the day and at the end of the week, you're exhausted, you've been so busy, but you've achieved nothing. So focus on one task, complete it, and then tackle the next task. Set deadlines. Don't make it an open-ended arrangement of, I'm going to paint the house and I'll start whenever and it'll take as long as it takes, and next year this time you're still busy painting the house. No. Set deadlines, get organized. I'm going to paint the house. I know what colors I want. I know what paint I need. I know the brushes I need. I'm going to start with this room, etc., etc., etc. And in 2 months' time, I would have painted the house, finished, all done, all happy, and I can move on to the next task. So set deadlines and stick to them. Stop making excuses. Just recognize that you are making excuses and stop making excuses. Get it done. Get that feeling of satisfaction when something is complete, that you've tackled it, it's done and it's complete, because nothing feels success like success. If you have a big job to do, it's a huge task, break it up into smaller doable jobs so that you don't feel overwhelmed. As they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So break it up into small tasks and then set small tasks for every day or every week, etc., depending on the size of the project, of the task. Make it easy to get started. Often the problem is not finishing the task, but just getting started. And here again, look at the positive aspects. Look at how wonderful it'll be when you have finished and achieved this particular task, and focus on the joy of the end result, and let that fuel you, not just into starting, but also continuing, because sometimes when we get to the middle of a biggish job, then you kind of, over it and you want to give up. But that is when you need to say, you know what, when this is finished, it's going to be really awesome. It's a bit like doing home improvements. You all sit around and you decide, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if we redo, let's say, the bathroom? And you get the builders in and they start, and 2-3 weeks down the road, it's angle grinders and dust and a mess and people traipsing mud and dirt and cement through your house, and you are so sick of it and you wish you'd never started and you just want them to stop and say it's fine. But if you just stick with it, when it's finished, you say, wow, this is amazing. I'm so pleased we did it. I'm so pleased I stuck with it and saw it through to completion. So keep the end result in mind. If you can get someone to hold you accountable, that's even better. So get a friend or a family member and say, listen, just check in with me and ask how I'm doing. Hold me accountable. If I make some silly, feeble excuse, just call me out on it. And so that you have some accountability to someone else. I know when I first started running, I had a friend, and we said we'd meet whenever we decided to run, let's say every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we would meet at 5 o'clock outside my gate. And even the mornings that I was tempted not to get, I knew she would be waiting for me, and I couldn't leave her standing there. So that got me up. And as on so many occasions, particularly when the weather's not good, it's hard to get up, but once you're up, you're so pleased. And once you get back from your run, you just feel great. And again, I know even the mornings that I'm tempted to lie in, how good I feel when I come back and when I'm out on the road. So keep those things in mind. Let that fuel you and help you to get started and to keep going. And then, of course, reward yourself. Say to yourself, when I have completed this task, when I have achieved what I wanted to achieve, I am going to reward myself by, and then do whatever it is. Ladies, go and have your nails done, go and have a facial, go and have a massage. Guys, I don't know what you guys do. Go and meet your mates for a drink or a meal or a round of golf or whatever it is that you consider a treat for yourself. Buy yourself that really nice box of chocolates or whatever it is. So reward yourself so you know. And then be honest to yourself and say, if I don't do this, I cannot have that reward, and I cannot have the reward before the task is complete and achieved, and I can tick it off. So when you start making excuses, be honest enough with yourself to say, is this a valid excuse? If you're really sick and you're running a temperature, then obviously nobody's expecting you to get up and go and, work in the garage, or in my case, go and run or whatever. But if you're just lazy, there's the other culprit, the other big friend of procrastination. His other big friend is lazy. Just too lazy. Rather just come in and lie on the couch. Rather just reach for the remote, and that's where the next 4 hours go. And if that is your choice, because life is choices, but choices have consequences, that is your choice to make. But then don't wonder why you don't fulfill your potential, why you don't have perhaps the things around you that you would like, because you haven't put the effort in. And that is the bottom line. What you put in is what you get out. Now, we can all wish we win the lotto and 50 or 60 million rand later. But even so, there's this little thing called self-fulfillment and self-actualization. And that is fulfilling your potential and not just sitting around and watching time go past, that hourglass emptying, and at the end of it say, I have done nothing, I have achieved nothing. So Justin, I hope that was useful. as I say, self-discipline is definitely hugely important, perseverance, but then the simple practical things like plan your day or week, get organized, prioritize one task, deadlines, do it now, breaking big jobs into smaller doable jobs, make it easy for yourself to get started and to stay motivated by keeping the end result in mind. Get someone to hold you accountable and then give yourself a reward. Because as I say, every day do something to get you nearer your goal. Find something that excites you and spur you on. Because doing nothing, failure to launch, is certainly not the way I think any one of us want to end our lives or want to be remembered by. And for those of us who are parents, remember you're setting example for your children, and they learn from what they see you do way more than from what you tell them. And so lead by example and have the satisfaction of knowing I have achieved something today, this week, the past 6 months. We're looking at June is around the corner. What have I achieved 6 months of the year? We're heading for June, and what have you achieved? What can you show? If you had to go and account to someone, some fictitious person, and say, show me what you've done, what will you show? What will you show for your time? So I hope that was useful as always. And again, these talks that you and I have are available on YouTube. Please give them the thumbs up and subscribe so that more people can have access to them that otherwise won't have access to what I'm hoping are little nuggets of wisdom and guidance and knowledge for you. And if you need to contact me, you have my number. It's 082 330 2439. But please keep the requests going for topics that you are interested in, that are important to you, that are close to your heart, or to somebody you know's heart that you feel may need a little bit of guidance and support. That is what I'm here for. That is what South Coast Radio is here for. It is your radio station. So thank you so much. I hope that was useful, Justin, especially to you, but everyone else. And go out there and live your best life and be the most you can be, firstly for yourself and then for those around you. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend ahead.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.